Howdy and welcome back. Today we're in the garden and I'm quite excited to show you these two little beauties behind me. If you've seen my first video at the ranch, then you'll be aware already that my mission is to grow some juicy fruits for making jams and juices. If not, there'll be a card in the top right now. You can check that out. Strawberries, raspberries, but most importantly, blackcurrants. Blackcurrants can be started from prunings, although this is the longer way of doing so it could be years before they bear any fruit. So, the easiest option is to go for some young bushes. These can be picked up in loads of different places, maybe your local garden centre. Me, believe it or not, I got mine from our local Asda for just £4 a plant. It's great value since in B&Q right now, they're selling them for £8 a plant. Asda actually has a great selection of fruit bearers, so I highly recommend visiting your local one just to see what they have. Let's get on and plant one of these lovely bushes now. Blackcurrants like to have plenty of room to root, so it's recommended to plant them in the ground or a large raised bed. This is due to how they grow. As a bush, they like to spread out and soak up as much sunshine as possible, so their roots like to spread out also. Fortunately, my bed at the ranch is not ready to plant anything in yet, so I'll be planting this one in a container. Ideally, a bigger one than this, but this should be fine just until we're ready to transplant it to the bigger planter. Due to how they grow, people often train them to a trellis or a support structure, so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to create a 3-leg support over the top of mine, and I'll be using these thin branches I pruned off a tree in the garden. You could use classic bamboo canes, but I like the idea of creating a natural support from prunings. It's a great way to use up waste that would take forever to compost. Just strip the leaves and small branches so you've got a decent stick. They can go in the compost. I like 2-pronged branches with new growth at the end, as the new growth is soft and can be tied at the top when you place your support. Blackcurrants and most other soft fruits don't like waterlogged soil. I'll just be using general purpose compost with a handful of sharp sand mixed in to help with the drainage. They also love a bit of full sun, but will cope okay with a bit of dappled shade, as long as they get around 6 hours of good sunshine a day. The bush is in a large plug type pot, so here's a little tip. Add a little bit of soil to the bottom of your pot, and if you place your plug plot in the middle and then pack your soil in around the pot, damp soil will hold its shape. Make sure to count the stems. You want to make sure that they line up with the support legs. And now the support's in place, I'm going to remove the pot by giving it a tiny little gentle wiggle and pulling it out. And look at that, a perfect size plug hole for the blackcurrants. Squeeze your pot to free up the soil. Lovely. And I'll just break the compost slightly just to give the root a bit of freedom. That can go straight into there. We might as well remove these supports now. Place that into the soil. Perfect. Using one of those soft new growth from the tree, I'll likely wrap this around the plant and the support. You can use twine or something like that to make life simple.
So now it's all set. All it needs is a bunch of water and lots of sun. Let's hope we get some lovely blackcurrants. There's a possibility we could get a few fruits off of it this year, but without a doubt next year there's going to be so many to harvest.
Remember, when your currants are starting to appear, it may be a good idea to get a light mesh net so pollinators can get in, but birds cannot. They are the worst pest for soft fruit, and who can blame them? Take care when using nets that birds don't get trapped inside the nets and run havoc among your fruits. But since it's frowned upon to deal with pest birds the old-fashioned way, this is the easiest way to keep your fruit safe. Now, I'm no expert on growing blackcurrant. This is just my first time. So if it's your first time as well, and I hope we can learn together as we go on. So make sure to subscribe to see more videos like this. Keep an eye open for my growing diaries to see how these little bushes will grow up. And even if it isn't your first time, let me know what I did wrong. Leave a like, and if you enjoyed, I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers. Here's a bonus tip I forgot to add in the video. It's good to put a mulch down on your blackcurrant. Keeps the soil nice and cool, helps lock in the moisture, but remember, it has to be free draining. I'm just going to use some of these leaves that we put in the compost last.